730 days have passed since the Big Train claimed their fourth consecutive CRCBL championship July 31st of 2019 in a 6-4 victory over Silver Spring Tacoma. They go for a long-awaited chance to go back-to-back here at Frank Mann Field in Alexandria tonight. Good evening for Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo. This is Game 2 of the CRCBL LCS as the Big Train take on the Alexandria Aces. Darius Foster, the left fielder tonight, out of San Francisco, stands in, takes the first pitch for ball one, swings and misses at strike one, count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyler, great to be here with you on a beautiful night in Northern Virginia as the Big Train look for win number 4 of these playoffs, and it would be a definitive championship victory with a title in the air tonight.
Absolutely, and you know what a better way to do it than leading off with a guy that's been in this spot throughout the entire season and in several other spots this year.
Foster swings the 2-1, hits it high in the air. Farquhar, the shortstop for Alexandria, backtracking onto the grass and collects it for out number 1. Foster retired. Windy day here in Northern Virginia. We'll get our camera rolling in just a minute as Jack Cohn, the 2-hitter out of William and Mary, steps into the box now, playing center field tonight. On deck now, Grant Knipp, cleanup hitter and designated hitter. Cohn swings the first one he sees, fly ball, pop up, and Farquhar again, back-to-back pitches called into action, and back-to-back pitches he collects it. 2 quick outs here for the Big Train in the top of the first.
You know, attacking early here in this game are the Big Train and maybe trying to get Civic to throw a pitch that they can handle here, but not really working out for the first 2 batters.
As you said, Derek Civic, the starter for Alexandria tonight. And he stands in against the newest Campbell Camel. Grant Knipp, who takes that one, poured in for called strike 1, says Paul Porto, the home plate umpire tonight. Here's the 0-1. Knipp pops it high in the air over our heads, situated just here behind home plate. And quickly in the hole here, 0-2 as Civic looks to put the Big Train down quietly in order here at the top of first. Civic into the windup, the righty, and this one cracked foul again. Back towards the packed bleachers here at Frank Mann Field in Northern Virginia. This one again fouled. Knipp just missing on 3 consecutive pitches now. We apologize for the brief technical difficulties here as we welcome you even more into Frank Mann Field here in Northern Virginia. A beautiful night for baseball as, again, the Big Train with a 1-0 lead in this CRCBL LCS Championship Series. And they'll send Josh Gross to the bump here out of East Carolina, looking to keep the Aces quiet. A 7-2 victory for the Big Train in Game 1 last night up at Shirley Povich Field. Garrett Farquhar out of Auburn to lead things off for Alexandria here tonight. And he cracks the first pitch he sees off the glove of the third baseman, Sean Ewell. Throw over in time. Well recovered at the hot corner there by Sean Ewell. One pitch, one out for Josh Gross and the Big Train defense. In the infield, Sean Ewell at third. Alderman scooping that throw up over at first. Rocco Pepe at second. Keith Torres up the middle at shortstop. In the outfield, Darius Foster, Jack Cohn, and Trevor Doyle standing near eye behind the dish out of Notre Dame. Gross into the windup here against Anthony Migliaccio. Also swinging at the first pitch. This one fouled back left side. Quickly 0-1 on the rising freshman.
It's been
at
a
Vanderbilt.
Stop and start season, I guess you can say, for Josh Gross. He's had some good starts. He's had some bad starts. Really looking for the good one here.
Misses low there, 1-1. Gross, a long righty, again out of East Carolina. Guy who's been a utility guy out of the bullpen and now transitioning to the starter role later on in the season. Really got good stuff when he has command as he misses there a little bit outside. 2-1 now. Migliaccio, 3 hits, 1 run scored this postseason. Farquhar retired before him, just 3 hits. As he turns on this one, hits it high, left side out of play. No chance for Sean Ewell coming over down toward the Alexandria dugout up the third base line. They'll bat like this. Mark Catula, the first baseman, on deck. Bobby Zmarzlak, center fielder, cleaning up in the 4 spot. As Gross drops the glove to the belt, here's the 2-2 in there, just outside for ball 3, and the count is full. Connor Ofshak, third baseman, batting 5th. Scotty Morgan, designated hitter, bats 6th. J.J. Gonzalez, second baseman, bats 7th, making his playoff debut. 3-2, swung on and missed by Migliaccio. And there's 2 gone here. Gross records his first strikeout of the evening.
We've seen some good swing and miss stuff this season from Gross, and that was no different right there. We just pounded it by Anthony Migliaccio to get a quick strikeout.
So both pitchers quickly through the first 2 batters. And now looking to make it tic-tac-toe 3 in a row here is Josh Gross facing off against the power-hitting first baseman, right-hander out of Eastern Michigan, Mark Catula. The big cat chops the first one he sees towards Sean Ewell, who can't scoop it up, slips on the grass trying to recover. Sean Ewell has had an adventure here in the top of the first. Tough play there as he tried to charge hard on that hard-hit dribbler up the left field line. And just his cleats gave way in the slick infield grass, and Catula on board via the error.
Number 10,
That's probably the most error play we've seen all season long. I mean, to just miss it completely and then slip and fall, really nothing good about that play for Nolan Sean Ewell.
So behind Gonzalez, the 7-hole hitter at second base, Matt Stone, the catcher, and Tyler Helgeson, the right fielder, as the first one misses low on Zmarzlak, the center fielder out of Maryland, with a runner on here. First time for either side as the Big Train hang a 0 offensively in the top of the first. Looking to do the same defensively here. Gross into the stretch. Hands come set, kicks, fires in there. Low. Ball 2. .86 degrees, clear night for baseball here. Wind blowing in slight as Gross fires in there for a called strike 1. Emphatic strike call there by Paul Porto.
Wanted everyone to know that one was a strike.
Tim Detweiler down at first base. The crew chief, Greg Kiewit at third base. The men in black tonight, not the Big Train. A little confusing. You would expect the umpires maybe to be in the blues with the Big Train in the road blacks. As this one chopped towards Keith Torres. Sean Ewell has a better angle on it. He scoops and can't make the play again. And that one's going to be an infield single. First hit of the game for Alexandria. Catula down to second. Zmarzlak safe at first.
Just another tough defensive play there for Sean Ewell. I mean, Gross is getting the ground ball. They're just hit very awkwardly to third base. Not really much Sean Ewell could have done on that. It was hit so slow. But man, he has just had a nightmarish first inning.
Both Torres, the shortstop, and Shanuel at third base charging that one. Very softly hit to the left side of the bump. No chance for either of them to make a play. This one grounded up the middle. That's going to get through. Being waved home from second is Catula. Throw from Cone, not cut off. Chance, and Nerai will tag him out easily. So Alexandria gets two-out runners on. Catula with the big send from second gets thrown out easily by the cannon arm of Jack freaking Cone in center field, and the Big Train get out of the jam and hang a scoreless 0 in the first inning. Excitement already here in Game 2 of the League Championship Series. Top of the second coming up next on Big Train TV.
Batting for the Big Train, number 33.
Kemp Alderman will lead off here as the cleanup hitter tonight for the Big Train at first base. Big righty out of Ole Miss has had a very nice start to this postseason. Looking to get something going here for the Big Train offensively. He chops the first one hard into the glove of Farquhar, who throws over wide, and not able to make the play is Catula at first. Came off the bag, able to snag it out of the air and not let that throw get by him. But Alderman reaches via the infield hit. There goes the no-hitter for Derek Civic.
It's been a tough,
and Nolan Shanuel will get the chance to make things up at the plate here.
Well, that would have been a tough error to take there. That's a smart hit call by the official scorer. Kemp was there, because the ball was hit so hard, and it took a long time for Farquhar to field it.
First pitch in there pumps for a strike call from Civic. So runner on first and Alderman. Definitely a fair hit call there. Maybe an error in some people's books. Shanuel chops this one foul up the first base line, fielded by somebody down there in the Big Train dugout. 0-2 quickly on the freshman All-American third baseman tonight. Rising sophomore now at Florida Atlantic. High set stance from the left-handed side and looks at a breaking ball outside. 1-2. Good pitch to take there. Tough pitch to take, but Shanuel able to say no. And now comes set here. Civic out of the stretch. Front leg kicks and fires. Breaking ball on the inside edge. Gets Shanuel golfing. And there's one gone.
Tried to strike one down the right field line, but came up empty.
Was looking for that inside pitch to absolutely pulls up empty. Bringing up Rocco Pepe, the second baseman tonight. Utility infielder. Played most of the season at third base. He stays in the 2-hole tonight, but his bat comes into the lineup. First at bat in his first start back from a little bit of an injury layoff was a long deep fly pulled down the left field line. Takes strike one called from Civic here. 1 on, 1 out. No score. Pepe sharps this one, hits this one sharply up the left side. Going to get past the shortstop Farquhar, who has been busy tonight in the 6-hole. And Pepe will reach with a hard hit single up the left side of the infield. 2 on, 1 out now.
I think Rocco Pepe was ready to get back into the lineup. I'm pretty sure. He was, 2 really hard hit baseballs these last couple of nights, and really it's shot in the arm when he's back in the lineup.
Just attacking the baseball as much as possible. We've seen the 2 loudest hits off his bat since returning to action. Both pulled up the left side. And he's on here with a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight for the big train. Trevor Doyle out at the dish, swinging at the first pitch. He sees that's going to get through the right side. Coming home to score is Alderman. Throw into Stone. Tag put down. In time, he got him.
Oh,
coming home now is Pepe. Stone discarded the ball thinking it was out 3. Pepe some heads-up base running, comes all the way from first to score the first run of Game 2, and the big train take a 1-0 lead.
What an absolutely boneheaded play by the catcher, Matt Stone, on there. He just threw it back to the mound like it was out number 3. There was only 1 out in the inning. And smartly coming home on that is Rocco Pepe.
Advancing to second is Trevor Doyle. Runner stays in scoring position on a funky play there. Heads-up base running by the big train second baseman Pepe as he wheels all the way around third base. Stone caught a good relay throw in from left field. Catula with the cutoff. Put the tag down on Alderman trying to score from second like Catula did to end the bottom of the first. And then, as you said, just flip the ball back to the pitcher's mound like it was out number 3. Nobody was there to pick it up. And Pepe able to score without a challenge in front of a very hyped big train dugout. So 2 gone here, a 1-0 train lead with a runner in scoring position for Keith Torres, whose bat has been scorching hot throughout this postseason. Takes the first one low, ball 1.
Interesting to see how they score that. Don't think it'll be an RBI for Trevor Doyle in that situation, as it came on after the first out had been recorded, but just a weird play for the run number 1.
Big Train will take the runs by any means. Scored them not necessarily in bunches last night in that 7-2 win as Torres swings through strike 1 there. Talking to the coaching staff before the game, 9 runs, the magic number they're looking for when building this lineup. They can get it to 9. They know that they can trust their defense and their pitching staff enough. As Torres looks at that one on the inside, 2-1. Civic, the lefty, comes set, hands at the chest. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball outside. Count 3 balls, 1 strike on Torres. Speedy shortstop out of Sacramento State. Civic, 1 appearance, 1 start, 6 innings this postseason. Here's a 3-1 to Torres. Chopped on the half swing up the first base line, foul. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Civic in that start versus Silver Spring Tacoma. 5 hits allowed, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. The win in those 6 innings. Shakes off the sign here from Stone. Glove folded in to the front of his chest. Now comes set, ready for the 3-2. He kicks, he fires. Here it comes. Torres hits it straight back into his glove. Incredible reflexes there from Derek Civic on a hard hit ball straight back where it came from Keith Torres for the 3rd out of this one. But 2 hits leads to the 1 big train run to break open the scoring here. An exciting first 3 half innings. More to come coming up next on Big Train TV.
Morgan.
What Scotty doesn't know can't hurt him as Scotty Morgan steps into the box. Left-handed power hitter. Takes that one for a called strike in from Josh Gross. Back to work for his second inning. Morgan shows bunt. Taps that one foul. Left side of the plate. Or right side of the plate.
Well, look at the shift they have on Morgan right now.
So Torres, the lone infielder on the left side of the bump. Pepe all the way, maybe 5 steps deep onto the right field grass as Morgan fouls this one the other way. Shanuel playing 5 steps maybe to the right of the second base bag, close second baseman, and Alderman playing pretty much straight up down the first base line. 3-man shift to the right as Morgan doesn't even test it, swings through the 0-2 pitch. Quickly one gone here for Gross.
And, you know, they have the scouting reports after seeing Morgan all season long. He goes up there and doesn't even make an effort to hit it into the shift.
So J.J. Gonzalez, his first start of these playoffs, with that bare-knuckled batting stance, shows bunt, pulls it back, called strike one, says Paul Porto. Number 20 in the Alexandria pinstripes, laughing that one off as he turns back to his dugout. Old school bare hands. That went in there quickly for called strike two. Gross not wasting any time, trying to get ahead here on Gonzalez. Second baseman. Quickly back to the windup here. 1 out, 0-2. This one hit up the middle. Pepe, bare hands, fires over, not in time to Alderman in first. A nice defensive play, but on the slow chopper to the right side, Pepe, no chance to gun down pretty quick J.J. Gonzalez up the first base line. There's a 1-out runner on here for Alexandria, and Matt Stone, a chance to make up that error of his own.
Got to give more credit to Rocco Pepe than what we did on that play. I mean, that was a phenomenal effort on the bare hand to try to get it to first base, and nearly got him out, but unfortunately he was too fast.
One hopper snagged out of the air with the bare hand of Long Beach State dirtbag Pepe. Gross will check back to fire back to check on Gonzalez before the at-bat to Stone begins. Now back to the stretch. Hands set at the belt. Long look into near eye behind the dish. Short primary lead for Gonzalez as Stone comes up empty for strike one.
Big train contingent here tonight in Alexandria. A lot of people have come out to show their support for Game 2 and hopefully see a championship clincher.
A lot of player host families, a couple player families, volunteers from Shirley Povich Field. The first base side bleachers are packed at Frank Mann Field here for Game 2. This one misses away. Near eye able to block it down. Keep Gonzalez at first. Count 1-1 on Stone. Catcher out of Georgetown. Gross with that right arm dangling in. Takes a look back on Gonzalez. Comes set here. 1-1 to Stone. Here it comes. Fouled back. The runner going down to second. Gonzalez will have to retreat. 1-2 on Stone. At the dish. Stone 2 RBIs this postseason. Sub 200 hitter in the regular season, but does have some pop. A couple home runs this regular season. With his team trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Chance to turn around with one swing. Gross with the advantage at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks in, time called. Good pitch there from Gross on the no pitch. Porto the late time call.
Yeah, that was he should have let him throw the ball. That was a little too late. Already in his windup.
So 1-2 again. Gross set and ready. No time here. This one grounded to Shanuel. Duffs it, fires over. Chance to get Stone, and does. Sacrifice ground out there, gets the runner into scoring position. Shanuel again able to recover after not fielding it cleanly the first time around, and there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the second.
It's almost at the point where maybe they could consider switching Kemp and Nolan at their positions right now, because that was this has been 2 innings where Sean Ewell has had some rough goes of things in the field, and just not a good effort again. But he got the out, fortunately for him.
A lot of infield flexibility with the players available. Of course, the 4 guys out there right now: Matt Thomas, Christian Martin, Colin Tuft, available off the bench, to name a couple. Pepe getting the steps in. I think there was one I missed off the top of my head, going up and down in my mind. Ball 1 to Tyler Helgeson, who pitched last night. And he grinds the first one, this first strike foul over our heads, out of play. We're basically straight back from the camera to the right of home plate to give you a little bit of a better idea. Getting the true atmospheric feel at Frank Mann Field. 1-1 to Helgeson out of Eastern Michigan, lefty. Kind of shortened, awkward little looking kind of stance with the hands there. Keeps that top hand kind of tight, bottom hand waggling. 2-1 on him. Runner on second, 2 outs. Gross comes set with the 2-1 in there with the sizzler, called strike 2.
A couple of Eastern Michigan contingents on this roster. Mark Catula as well. All-star Mark Catula.
The Eagles. Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Is that in the Upper Peninsula?
I don't think so. I think it's in the eastern part. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss by Eastern Michigan's Tyler Helgeson, and Josh Gross strands another runner. Healthy couple of fist bumps for him heading back to the dugout. Big Train maintaining a 1-0 lead through 2 full here at Frank Mann Field in Alexandria. We'll pause for a word from our sponsors at the Dandy Walker Alliance.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Number 15,
Danny Neareye, top of the order, due up here in the top of the 3rd. Big Train with a narrow 1-0 lead in Game 2 of the CRCBL League Championship Series. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV on site, looking for their 10th overall championship, 9th in the CRCBL. The other one back when the league was called the Clark W. Griffith Collegiate Baseball League. I think Cal Rip getting much better namesake as Neareye weakly fouls the 0-2 pitch out of play to stay alive. Won the league championship every year between 2016 and 2019. As Neareye smokes one, foul down the right field line. Absolutely turned on that one. Narrowly dropped in, just smoked. I mean, that's the 3rd incredibly loud hit down the right field line we've seen from Danny this season.
Yeah, he's been very close to turning on some. A couple that probably were fair. The ones that went over.
One in particular that makes me think it was fair. Anyway, still 0-2 at the dish. This one low for ball one.
Nice evening for baseball tonight here, Ben.
Yeah. This one low again on near eye. 2-2. I think he might have thought that was strike three for a second there. Alexandria dugout certainly thought so. Near eye, Foster and Cone due up. Getting some ribbing from the dugout. Both dugouts have been loud in the two games so far this series. Loud throughout the regular season matchups as well, as Near Eye pops this one way up in the air in the infield. And the pitcher, Civic, will take it himself for out number one.
How about 2 consecutive outs for Derek Civic that he had to do himself?
Yeah.
That nice catch on the line out from Keith Torres, and now a pop out right to him.
Yeah, I mean, that catch tried to do it justice, but scorcher off the bat of the shortstop straight back into his mitt. I mean, as a pitcher, you're taught once you release the ball, you're supposed to come set and get ready in a fielding position, but he literally just opened his glove and the ball arrived without any more trouble. Foster grinds the first pitch he sees up to the shortstop, whose throw to Catula at first is high, and Foster reaches safely. Stone with some discussions between himself and Tim Detweiler, the crew chief and first base official. Hard hit ball to Farquhar in the shortstop hole, cheating a little bit towards the second base bag, able to scoop that one up and just fired it a little high. And in trying to go up to get it, Foster got the foot down before Catula did, and he's safe at first here. So a one-out runner on for the big train. Called strike in on Cone. 0 for 1 today with a pop-up to the shortstop. Foster reaching on, I guess they'll call that a throwing error by the shortstop Farquhar. Tough call there.
Tell you what, the big train contingent here are on the verge of bringing it home.
Certainly with plenty of fans support throughout the night. I know they're appreciative of the support as this one squirts away from Stone behind the dish. Foster easily down to scoring position without a throw. Advancing on the wild pitch there. Train horn in attendance as well, it seems. Whole passenger car apparently hitched up to the big train as they rolled down south on the GW Parkway or I-66, whatever route Waze sent you. Here's the 1-1 to Cone in there with the off speed, 1-2.
I was on back roads, but it didn't really help me.
Yeah, 4:30 to 6 p.m. is not a fun time to try to navigate through the inside Beltway area. Cone looking to navigate through a 1-2 pitch here. 1 out, runner on second. Cone cracks this one foul right side inside the fence, but no chance for Helgeson out there in right field or Catula on first base. Foster was nearly down to Coach G at third base. We'll trot back, touch up, and take his primary lead. 6 or 7 steps off. Farquhar keeping him slightly close there. Civic looks back, now comes to Cone with the 1-2, and he spits on it, too tight. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cone's lone hit of these playoffs, a big double the other night. Stand up by a mile. Here's the 2-2, low, and again squirting away from Stone for a wild pitch. Down 90 feet away now is Darius Foster.
And that's how they do it. They'll manufacture runs against you. You can't get runners in scoring position on this team because they'll find a way to get into the plate and get some runs across for the big train.
Chris Bursett, the manager for Alexandria, wants a quick word with his pitcher. Make sure he's in the right state of mind here in a big spot. Cone with the full count at the plate. Foster 90 feet away from being the second run of this game. 1-0 the big train lead with 1 out here in the top of the third. Looking for a chance to add some more distance between themselves and Alexandria. can hear the crowd offering their support. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch to Cone. Inside, ball 4. Runners on the corners for Grant Knipp.
Working count. Great fight back there for Jack Cone, and he gets a favorable count, and he works with it and gets to first base.
Knipp was able to do something similar in his first trip to the plate. Started off with no 2 count, worked it all the way back full.
Grant Knipp.
Before eventually grounding out to the shortstop Farquhar. Team leader this postseason with 5 RBIs. 3 hitters as he cranks one to center field. Going back is Zmarzlak, reaching it at the warning track. He'll settle under it and make the grab for out number 2. Foster scoring easily from third. It's 2-0 Train. Hard hit ball straight to the deepest part of this park in center field. Zmarzlak able to run that thing down. But an RBI, number 6 of the postseason, again for Grant Knipp. Cone stays on first, out of scoring position. Alderman will look to move him up here with 2 outs. And he cranks this one high, deep to left field. Migliaccio turns, doesn't even move. Goodbye, a 2-run shot for Kemp Alderman over the scoreboard into the light tower and gone from Frank Mann Field.
Yeah, and the bat flip should have told you all you needed to know about that 2-run home run. A big fly, he knew he got it. It's the shark shop as he gets to home plate, and Kemp homers for the first time in Alexandria.
A daddy shark as Alderman takes a big chomp out of that one. And a 3 spot here in the third. It's 4-0 Big Train.
Just impressive stuff from Alderman, I'll tell you what. He knows when he gets
Number
it,
23,
and that was
Nolan
impressive.
Shanuel.
Back-to-back loud pieces of contact for the 2 biggest hitters in this Big Train lineup. Knipp with the RBI sacrifice to center field, and Alderman absolutely torching one to left center. Migliaccio turned and just watched it go. Knew it off the bat as Civic misses twice to Shanuel here. Quickly 2-0 as he tries to work back into this game. In there, called strike 1. That foul up the right side to even the count at 2-2 on Shanuel.
I hope we got a good shot of that bat flip because that was impressive.
I think we did. Got a pretty good view of the chomp coming home as well. As Shanuel scorches this one off the glove of Farquhar, he's able to stay with it and make the grab. Lots of hard contact here in the third, but the highlight is the 2-run Alderman moonshot, his 9th of this season, first of the postseason. It's a 4-0 Big Train lead, middle of the third from Frank Mann Field in Alexandria. Garrett Farquhar to lead things off as the top of the order comes to the plate here in the bottom of the third. Work to do for the Alexandria Bats as Farquhar whiffs at the first one he sees.
12, Garrett Farquhar.
This at bat from Josh Gross with a little bit more run cushion here. And this one cranked foul deep to right field. No chance for Doyle to run that thing down. And it's 0-2. Farquhar grounded out to Sean Ewell at third. This one misses just outside on the 0-2 pitch. 1-2 from Gross. 3 hits this postseason for Garrett, Auburn Tiger. Gross shakes off near eye twice, gets the sign, drops the glove. This one grounded to Torres, his first action at shortstop. Double clutches and fires over with plenty of time to spare as he retires Farquhar, his first out of this one. Farquhar a little bit limpy heading back to the dugout, something to keep an eye on. As Migliaccio,
Anthony Migliaccio.
well-built left fielder, will step in here from the left-handed side, switch hitter. Tips the first one he sees back foul. Quickly 0-1. One gone here in the bottom of the third. This one grounded towards Alderman at first. He'll take it himself, fair ball. And now quickly 2 gone for Gross. But Alexandria's bats have been active with 2 outs this game so far, so Gross will look to retire them quietly so far. No runs on 3 hits, 2 errors for Alexandria, 1 for the Big Train to go with their 4 runs on 4 hits. First one from Gross, misses low, ball 1 on Mark Catula. Reached on an error by the third baseman. Came around trying to score with 2 outs from second. Gunned down by Jack Cohn in center. This one in there, long call strike by Paul Porto, 1-1.
Big Train have just impressed me today. It's been a pretty solid effort for them thus far.
They'll have to keep it up. About a third of the way through this ball game. Plenty of baseball still to be played here. As checking his swing on the 1-1 is Catula. Works it to 2 balls, 1 strike. Near eye calls time. A little bit of dirt in the eye perhaps. Clearing it out, trying to get situated behind the dish. Now satisfied, back to the squat. As Gross starts the wind up. Swing and a miss from Catula. That's strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Catula, the all-star. 7 hits this postseason, 3 RBIs and 3 walks. Hits this one high out of play. Foul to the right side. Back towards the parking lot here. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quickly back to the windup. Here is Gross. Breaking ball gets Catula going around. And Gross rings up another Aces batter. It's a 3rd clean inning for Josh to start this ball game off and cement a 4-0 lead heading to the top of the 4th here on Big Train TV. So an early call to the bullpen here for Chris Burset, Alexandria Aces manager, as he'll bring in the hard-throwing three-quarters delivery slot. Blake Burkhalter closed out that All-Star Game victory over Team Israel a couple weeks ago up in Aberdeen, and a sensational season for him continuing through the postseason now. 2 appearances in the playoffs, 3.0 innings of work, 2 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts for Burkhalter out of Auburn. Blake Burkhalter, that is. This regular season, stellar as well, led the Aces in ERA with a 1.12. Spends that one in there for strike 1 on Pepe, 1-1.
Yeah, really just impressive season, and nothing more you can say about him there. You know, it was really he really was just the linchpin in this bullpen.
16 innings of work, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned in the regular season. Gets out ahead of Pepe here, 1-2. 1-0 record with 2 saves, 30 strikeouts and 4 walks this regular season. And looking to carry that success and keep his team in it. As this one, flincher, straight back to us here. Every day you wake up and thank the dear Lord for chain link fences in front of you. Count stays 1-2 on Rocco Pepe. This one sizzles in there above the knees, called strike 3. Pepe not happy, but he'll head back to the dugout, retired as the first out on Blake Burkhalter's ledger tonight. Book
Very good
closed
pitch.
on Civic through 3 innings.
Number 27, Trevor Doyle.
4 hits allowed, 4 runs, 3 of them earned to his mark. Just the 1 strikeout for Civic. As Doyle steps in now, this one misses outside with the off speed. One 1-0.
Can't speak enough about the effort they've gotten from Josh Gross tonight, too.
This one misses low, and Doyle works it to a 2-0 count now. One gone here in the top of the 4th. Doyle looking to keep the big train offensive movement rolling. He smokes this one to right center field. That's going to get down. Doyle rounding first, heading for 2. Pulling it out from against the wall is Helgeson, and it's a stand-up, 1-out double here for Trevor Doyle. Runner in scoring position for his teammate at Sacramento State now, Keith Torres.
Yeah, I mean, going with the pitch, sending it exactly where what more you can ask for in that situation.
Aggressive on the 2-0 count from Burkhalter. And the Auburn Tiger pays there with a loud base knock. Porto hustles back to his spot behind the dish, and we're just about ready to roll for this at-bat. Mentioned Torres' hot start to the postseason at the plate. 4 hits, 2 runs scored, 3 doubles, 1 RBI, and 1 walk drawn. 0 for 1 tonight with a sharp hit baseball straight back to the pitcher Civic at the time. As Burkhalter always out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Torres. Check swing in there, called strike 1. Words of encouragement from the coaching staff on the buckets just to the left of the big train dugout. As Burkhalter comes set here, Doyle leads off second. Breaking ball catches the outside half, and it's quickly 0-2.
One thing that'll be interesting to see, though, is how they utilize the bullpen tonight. Maybe they'll do another piggyback start like they did last night.
Torres hits this one high right side. That's going to get out of play towards the green grass area there, down towards the restroom. But as you were saying, Eddington with 4 strong innings to start yesterday's Game 1 victory. Then Luke Baker with 3 very strong innings in relief to get through 7 between the 2 of them. Both of them normally starting guys. Baker's first appearance as a relief pitcher throughout the season. 7 starts before that. See what the plan is for the big train today. 2-1 grounded off the mid of Offshack, the third baseman, and into the outfield. Doyle will hold at third. Runners on the corners here with one out as Torres picks up another hit.
Yeah, and give an assist to Connor Offshack there in that situation. Off his glove and a base hit for Torres that gets Doyle to third.
Tough play there for Offshack. Hard hit liner. This one a little bit more to the left side of the field than the first one off the bat of Torres. But an RBI opportunity for Neareye, quietly tied for the team lead this postseason with 5, even after having last night's game off. Took some turns as the bullpen catcher. Rested his body a little bit. Now fresh for tonight's game as he takes time. Popped up to the pitcher, his first at-bat. Family in town. Here's the first pitch from Burkhalter, low with the off-speed and swung on. Strike one. Sun's starting to sink a little bit behind the left field trees. Picture perfect day for baseball. Really good temperature after some storms in the area the last couple days. Here's the 0-1. Neareye fouls it off, and again, quickly back-to-back at-bats for Danny. He's been in an 0-2 hole, able to battle back the last time. See what he can do here this time around. Just to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour here in Northern Virginia. Wonderful crowd at Frank Mann Field. Here's the 0-2. Neareye hits it high down the left field line. Long way to go from Migliaccio. And he does all that running just to see the ball drift over the fence out of play. Count stays 0-2 on Neareye.
Yeah, Danny's been really impressive this year for this team, and been commanding behind the plate as well. He knows how to call a good game. And even if his bat doesn't come to the game, his defensive skills will be there.
You're looking at the 2 all-star catchers right there in the frame. Stone relieved Neareye halfway through that all-star exhibition. Here's the 0-2 to Neareye. Hits it high. Popped up to the left side. Offshack, the third baseman, coming in and collects it for out number 2. So Neareye is able to battle back a little bit, foul off a couple pitches. But another pop-up sets Neareye down as the second out here in the top of the 4th. Runner still 90 feet away with Trevor Doyle at third. Torres a little bit further. Torres still 90 feet away, just, the wrong 90
right
down at first. 2 gone here for Darius Foster. 0 for 1 tonight, reached on an error in the 3rd, a generous error call as Burkhalter will check back on Torres. Doyle dances from 3rd, but neither going anywhere. Foster slightly choked up just above the knob of the bat. Here's the first pitch into him, tight. Torres running, back check on Doyle off of 3rd, 2 in scoring position here as Torres takes 2nd unopposed.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that would be listed as defensive indifference in that situation, but, there's not really any reason for it to be, but maybe if it were in the 9th inning and it were a closer game, yeah. No even attempt to throw there.
Doyle with the double, stands at 3rd. Foster chops through that one, 1-1. 2 gone here in the 4th, 2 in scoring position. Foster with 4 RBIs, one of 3 big train players knotted up at 4 ribeyes. Most of them coming off that 3-run home run, his first of the entire season. There's the 1-1, cracked foul left side behind the plate. 1-2 now. Linchpin at the top of this order throughout the season, Darius. Hitting the 2-hole every now and then, but this is a guy who's done it all with the big train. Career leader in steals. Vital part of that championship run back in 2019. And trying to do it all again as he whiffs at the 1-2 pitch. Stone collects it in the dirt, fires over to Catula in time to set Foster down 2-3 on the drop 3rd strike put out. So the big train put 2 on, can't get either home. They leave both aboard and take a 4-0 lead from the middle of the fourth here in Northern Virginia. We'll be right back. First pitch called strike by Paul Porto. Again, emphatically behind the dish as baseball skies peek out around the outfield here at Frank Mann Field. Zmarzlak taps this one foul, and he's quickly in a 0-2 hole. First batter here is the 4-hole hitter for Alexandria, and they find themselves in a hole of 4 runs. As Zmarzlak cracks the 0-2 pitch high to the right side, Alderman racing over towards the fence. That's going to get out of play.
Would have been funny if Kemp went outside of the fence to try to catch that ball, but the
Yeah,
door's closed.
just a little too high. He was running pretty quickly towards the gate, but I think if you have to go through a gate to make a catch, I'm pretty sure it's just out of play anyways. But can't fault the effort by Kemp on that one. Gross quickly back to the windup here with the 0-2 count. Inside miss. And Gross sets him down again with the high cheese. One gone.
Yeah, climbs the ladder on that one for strike 3 and topples him down like a chutes and ladders.
In command and cruising through 3 1/3 now. So he racks up his 5th strikeout of the game. Zmarzlak, a victim for the first time, was 1-1 prior to that at bat, and starting off right where he left off on off shack. Gross just in command and in a rhythm here as he's ahead on another Aces batter, 0-2.
Yeah, Josh Gross is just
Working.
spectacular tonight. There's nothing more you can say.
0-2 with the trying to climb the ladder there with the off speed. Doesn't quite break enough. 1-2 now.
No, I appreciate you using what I said a couple seconds ago, but man, has he been impressive.
Trying to go high and tight again. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Can't quite get those last 2 pitches to drop in. But Gross, as you said, very impressive this year out of the pen. Did struggle in a game or 2 as a starter, but you know, growing pains come when you try to make adjustments. As he drops the glove, here's the 2-2, cracked to the right side. Doyle racing over towards the line. That's going to drop in as a fair ball. First hit in a while, the 4th of the night for Alexandria, as Offshack checks in with his second base knock of the night.
Yeah, and hit off the end of the bat and parachuted towards the right side, falls in for a base hit. I wouldn't be discouraged if I were Josh Gross, though. I'd keep trying to go out there and shove like I have been in this game.
Offshack, the righty, way late on that one, as he takes it completely the opposite way, just dropping it in down the right field line. So a 1-out runner on here for Scotty Morgan. Swings and misses at the first one, 0-1. Morgan 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Been very prone to those throughout the year. Grounded into a double play, had 2 strikeouts last night. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gross, high and outside. Good block there from Neareye out of the crouch. Morgan with 5 strikeouts now this postseason. Gross comes set, 1-1 on Morgan. And this one outside again. 2-1 now.
Potentially running out of gas here in the 4th for Gross. We'll see if he continues. He's been missing high.
No action in the bullpen yet, as you said. He's been trying to find that kind of upper left spot of the zone. Got it to drop in on Zmarzlak, but both on Offshack and Morgan been a little tougher. Here's a 2-1 to Morgan, trying to go the other side. Runner goes, throw down by Neareye in time. Thrown out at second is Offshack. There's 2 gone. 3-1 count at Morgan at the plate as Neareye guns down, I believe, is 2nd or 3rd runner of the season. Hasn't had too many running on him.
How about
showing that all-star arm there?
And how about CSGO for Danny Neareye right there behind the plate? Caught stealing, and important caught stealing in that situation.
And Offshack took off very late. That ball kind of bounced around in the dirt. Neareye was able to pick it up quickly as Morgan cranks one to right center field. This one's back. Doyle looking up against the track at the wall, and he makes the grab! With no room to spare, Trevor Doyle's a 4th consecutive 0. A couple of loud base knocks off the bat of Alexandria, but no damage done. Scoreless through 4. It's a 4-0 Big Train lead heading to the 5th here on Big Train TV.
Go check out One Life, Alexandria.
Jack Cohn to lead things off here for the Big Train after some defensive excitement in the bottom of the 4th. Looking to answer offensively, takes the first one in there. Called strike on the inside 3rd. I just hope that Paul Porter is able to keep up that energy throughout the entire game. He started out strong. We'll see if he's able to keep it going, as Josh Gross will look to do the same, possibly in the next half inning. Still no action in the exposed bullpen down the right field line for the Big Train. 0-2 here on Cohn at the plate. I have to see what the pitching plan is, as we discussed earlier. Ben Bobak and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV, as Cohn stays under this one, fouls it off to the left.
Yeah, but the way
stays no balls, 2 strikes.
with the way Gross has been going, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes an extra inning in this one. I mean, you know, he's earned it. This game is as big as it gets, and there's no more games after this potentially, so don't have to worry.
All about the pitch count, of course, as this one misses low from Burkhalter out there for his 2nd inning of work. Allowed a couple runners in the last half inning, but able to keep the Big Train bats quiet. 0-1-3-0 in the inning runs scored. Nothing but zeros as Cone takes this one the other way up the left side. And that's going to get through Offshack and Farquhar both. And Jack Cone aboard here with his second base knock of the playoffs.
Safe to say the Big Train have brought the wood down at Alexandria tonight. They've really just tattooed the offense. That is their 7th hit of the game.
As many runs as they scored last night in that 7-2 victory. They were shutting out the Aces until the 9th. And so far, well, back on that track. Now 12 combined shutout innings between these game and a half of LCS action. Burkhalter set out of the stretch. First pitch gets away to the outside of Grant Nip, the batter. Cone stays at first, though. Nip 0 for 1. Sacrifice fly out to center for an RBI in the 3rd to score Foster. Cone on base via the walk in front of him. 1-1 here to Nip. 3 runs scored this postseason cycle. And a bunch more before that throughout the regular season, including that 1 home run against Team Israel in the friendship game at Povich Field. This one misses low and away for ball 2. Off of Shlomo Lipitz, who pitched yesterday morning in Tokyo.
Someone said they were
against
using,
Team USA.
for crowd noise, they were using Wii Sports Baseball audio for that.
Wouldn't be surprised. I've loved seeing the return of both softball and baseball to the Tokyo Olympic cycle. I don't believe it made the IOC program for Paris in 2024 just due to restrictions of how many sports they can have, as Burkhalter checks back on Cone for the 3rd time. But I believe it's LA 2028, right?
I think so, yeah.
I believe we'll get baseball back for then, so alternating Olympic cycles. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Burkhalter set out of the stretch, front foot forward. In there, gets the swing and a miss from Nip to even the count. Very cool experience for all involved to have the Israeli Olympic team here for the exhibition friendship game in Povich. Then, of course, the All-Star exhibition we've mentioned plenty throughout this evening's game. The next day up at Aberdeen, a victory for that combined CRCBL team made up of plenty of both Aces and Big Train. This ball squirts away from Stone. Cone's going to run. Started running, headed back to the bag, and then took off anyway, slipped a little bit, but able to make it down to second base on the passed ball. Nip down swinging is the first out here in the 5th, but Cone into scoring position.
I'll see what Kemp has for an encore here in this AB. Just a mammoth shot back in earlier this game.
No walk-up music, but that's not going to stop the Big Train fans from doing a little baby shark as he walks into the dish here to plenty of rhythmic clapping. And Kemp Shark will look to delete another baseball. Takes this one too high, ball 1.
The man who coined that term is on deck.
Sean Uel has the ability to erase baseballs from existence as well.
Kemp opened a hardwire one here over the left field fence.
Slight breeze blowing left to right from behind home plate. You can see the flag out there, dead center field. 397 on the wall, but we've been told it's closer to 405 as Burkhalter checks back on Cone off second. No Jack freaking Cone pitching appearances this CRCBL LCS. But he did have that one big throw to end the bottom of the 2nd as Burkhalter again steps off. Light orange glove, the Auburn Tiger. 1-0 to Alderman at the plate. Long at bat. Cone dances off. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Alderman. Swings out of his shoes. A little bit off balance there, chasing the pitch low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful sunset here in Northern Virginia starting to come on. As the big train look to set down the hopes of the Alexandria Aces, looking for their first CRCBL title as a team. Alderman hits this one high out of play, foul back towards the parking lot. 1-2. 8 home runs this regular season for Kemp, hitting .400 these playoffs in 10 at-bats. 4 hits, 4 runs scored. Now 4 RBIs. Each of those prior numbers up to 5 as well. Burkhalter with a long look back, in time to get Cone dancing off second. There's 2 gone. An interesting move there from Burkhalter. Went all the way around 360 degrees and just able to get that ball into Farquhar's mitt before Cone was able to get that arm back to the bag. Picked off second base. Base path's clear now ahead of Alderman with a 1-2 count on him.
And he was lucky that it wasn't a balk there. Sometimes that you can run the risk of that called.
Now set,
pickoff.
Able to focus back on the batter. Alderman stays alive, able to chop that one off. Gives himself a little swing thoughts. So coming into tonight, Alderman in the playoffs, 1 double. Again, 4 hits, 4 runs scored, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. 2 for 2 tonight as he takes this one low and away. With 2 hits, single in the second, gunned down by Helgeson, the right fielder, as the second out of the inning. Did draw the throw, though, enough to score Pepe behind him as what would then be the first run of the game. Big Train have added 3 more since then, as Alderman now works the count full. Was behind slightly, 1-2. Burkhalter wants a fresh baseball. Count full. Burkhalter getting the sign from Stone. Comes set. Ready for the payoff pitch to Alderman. 2 outs here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Alderman down on strikes. Quietly go the Big Train. 2 consecutive innings shut out by Burkhalter. Looking to keep his team in it with the Aces trailing 4 here as we head to the middle of the 5th inning on Big Train TV. After this word from our partners at the Dandy Walker Alliance.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Nolan Shanuel lead things off here. Third baseman will start off the sixth, taking that called strike in there with the fastball from Burkhalter. Quick word to confirm the location of that ball. Shanuel and Paul Porto, the home plate umpire. Burkhalter quickly back, and Shanuel rips this one right side. Going back to the track is Helgeson, and catches it with a step to go before the fence. Hauled it in. Nice piece of contact there for Shanuel, but no luck. Couldn't get that one to carry out of the ballpark. 319 down the right field line. A little bit towards right center there. Helgeson able to track it over the shoulder, catch against the wall. One gone here quickly in the sixth. Third inning of work for Burkhalter. He's hung a couple zeros as Pepe drives the first pitch he sees way foul, but would have been gone. 308 down the left field line. The shallowest left field corner in the CRCBL by my math. The 310 down in DC, probably a close second. 333 to each corner at Povich. Turning on one again is Pepe, grounding a foul up the third base line, and he's quickly in a 0-2 hole here. Pepe struck out looking to start off the fourth for the big train at the plate. Singled and came around to score as he chops the 0-2 pitch softly to Farquhar at shortstop. Fires over a little bit high, but in time to retire Pepe. Dugout thought maybe Pepe had managed to beat that out, or Cotula had come off the bag at first, but there's two gone here for Trevor Doyle. Doubled to after Pepe struck out in the fourth. Got to third on the Keith Torres single. Stranded there. Both of those runners in scoring position against Burkhalter. Second guy now to face Burkhalter twice. Takes that one in there on the inside third, called strike one. And so far, Paul Porto keeping it up. Same energy.
Yep, he's been there. He's been
Way to
loud
go,
and proud.
King. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the big train. 0-4-3 for Alexandria, 1-1 on Doyle. Seven to 2 the final last night as the big train picked up their third win of these playoffs. The top seed. Both of these teams got a first-round bye past the wild card play-in. DC over Gaithersburg, they got to face the big train. Silver Spring over South County, they got to face the Aces. And both of these teams disposed of their semifinal opponent in 2-game sweeps. 2-1 misses low to Doyle. 3-1 now. Doyle collected his first big fly of the night last night as a pinch hitter for Cone in the late innings. Defensive substitution to give Cone a chance to rest his legs before he's back in the field tonight. Here's a 3-1 Doyle just above the knees, called strike two.
And I don't know if there's any action in the big train bullpen right now, so maybe Josh Gross gets a 6th inning. It'd be impressive.
Perhaps. Still nothing warming up yet, as you said. We have a pretty good view of both bullpens, much better than our home confines, as Doyle able to stay around on a breaking ball. A little uncomfortable there, fouling that one back. We'll try to walk it off up the line. Las Vegas native. Rising senior at Sacramento State.
And been far
Bats
and
left,
away
throws right.
one of the most important bats in this lineup this year. Even if he just hit his first home run, he's been a big part of this team.
Count full on him here. 2 gone. Nobody on the bases in front of him. Here's the pitch from Burkhalter. Swing and a miss. Doyle goes down whiffing. And the big train are quiet for the third straight half. It will be Josh Gross back out there on the mound for a 6th inning of work as he looks to extend this stellar start that has the big train leading by 4, heading to the 6th here on Big Train TV. Anthony Migliaccio leading off here in the 6th inning against Josh Gross. Not yet through 3 full turns of the order as the rising freshman at Vanderbilt comes to the plate. Migliaccio 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and an unassisted ground out to Kemp Alderman at first. 2-0 here from Gross as we see some stretching. It looks like Ryan Doherty getting loose down in the big train pen.
Haven't seen him in a bit. Nice for him to get his game in today.
I think he made an appearance in the game 1 of the semifinals.
Yeah, I think so.
Can't be totally certain. Here's a 2-1 from Gross to Migliaccio. This one cranked foul. Left side out of play again. 2-2 now.
Josh Gross bringing it tonight.
So Gross through 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs allowed, just 4 hits. Aces, and there's strikeout number 7. Migliaccio down swinging again, the 2nd time tonight. And Gross in command through 5 1/3.
Really impressive stuff from Josh Gross. We keep saying it, but ECU has a good one on their hands this year.
Absolutely cooking right now. In the driver's seat, pedal to the metal right now for Josh Gross. And the Pirates looking for more booty as he pours in strike 1 to Catula, the 3-hole hitter.
7 strikeouts and 5 1/3, really just zoned in.
This one bounces away from Catula, 1-1. Gross back to the windup. Determined look on his face. This one grounded towards Alderman at first, but foul. Alderman and Gross had completed the flip to each other. Would have been a smoothly executed out number 2. Catula, they're going to say catcher's interference? I think they're saying catcher's interference.
Yeah, I'll have to see what the official score ruling is. Official score ruling pending. We'll see. I'll take you to that in just a second. Yeah, catcher's CO. I don't know what CO.
Obstruction.
Catcher obstruction, okay.
So Catula down to first safely. This near eyes mitt probably just in his swing. Gross's longest appearance of the season for East Carolina was an inning and a third back on April 23rd against UCF in a loss. Had a .750 season ERA, but has worked excellently. Here for the big train. Comes set here, 2-0 to Zmarzlak, 1 out, runner on. This one misses away, and it's 3-0. As Gross tries to get himself back into that rhythm that had been so effective. Longest outing this season was 4-inning start against the Aces back on July the 13th and a 14-2 big train win at Povich Field. This one misses outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Zmarzlak, and there's 2 on here with 1 out. Near eye out to have a word, and he'll be joined by pitching coach Lopez as Coach Sal's telling the bullpen to get things going a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and I mean, if Gross can get a ground ball here, he can get through 6, but 5 1/3 is the longest any big train pitcher has gone this season, and it would be a real shot in the arm for this squad if he can finish it out.
Could imagine the reaction he'd get heading back to the dugout. Both these squads have been So excited. Slight animosity given the history between these two teams.
Before Connor Offshack.
So Zmarzlak off first. This one hit over our heads, out of play. Back into the strike category is Gross here with a 0-1 count on Offshack. 2 for 2 with 2 singles. So not exactly the guy Gross is looking to face here with 2 on and 1 out. But a ground ball, as you said, could get him out of this. Back to the stretch here. Kicks, fires. Ooh, straight back to us.
Piece of the
Whew.
chain
Little
links came
paint
back.
chip there. Still alive, don't worry. Good for the soul. It's like a natural shot of coffee. 0-2 on Offshack.
Shot in the arm? Just said it. Why not?
Here's the pitch, a little bit low, ball 1. Trying to get Offshack to chase there on the 0-2.
Maybe he goes 5 2/3. Maybe he goes shorter. Or maybe we'll have to see if he gets through this inning.
Alexandria scored 2 on 4 hits last night, nothing on the same number of base knocks tonight. Here's the 1-2 to Offshack. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And Gross gets strikeout number 8. And there's 2 gone here in the 6th.
Crazy 8s for Josh Gross tonight, and he has just been brilliant. Nothing more you can say. You know, yeah, he's got a couple of walks here and there, but 8 strikeouts in the championship potential clincher, unreal.
Scotty Morgan.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scotty does know how effective the glove of Trevor Doyle out there in right field can be. Long run down for the right fielder on Morgan's last piece of hitting. Collected just before the wall as Morgan takes a big swing through the first pitch he sees, 0-1.
Couldn't really have asked for more tonight from Josh Gross in this situation and on this stage.
Emptying the tank here. 0-1 count. Hands set at the belt. He kicks, he fires low. Ball 1. Squirts away. Runners will stay as Neareye is able to get on top of it pretty quickly. Skylight starting to fade here in Northern Virginia. Pretty little baseball sky unfolding out there beyond the outfield fence.
Yeah, I mean we've been treated to some great baseball skies here this season.
Got a decent view as well. Happy to bring it to you. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Gross fires. Swing and a miss on a pitch inside. Morgan down 1-2.
Could be the 9th victim of tonight for Josh Gross, and what a way to finish things off if he could get it here.
Good spot here for Josh Gross. 8 strikeouts on his ledger already. Chance for 9. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks back on the runner off second. This one cracked. Left side, out of play, foul. Count stays pat. Morgan walking that off. Maybe a little bit of cracked lumber there. Fresh bat to come. Little bit of a brief momentary pause. We'll get the Jeopardy going, theme song going in your heads. As Morgan gets a fresh piece of lumber, restraps the batting gloves, adjusts the batting helmet on his way back to the home plate circle. 32 in the pinstripes. Socks rolled up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes on him, visualizing that cut stroke through the zone as he steps back into the left-handed batter's box. A couple practice cuts. Now comes set, bat waggling above his head. Checking on Catula off first is Gross. Here's the 1-2. Grounded up the middle. That's going to get through. Catula will hold at third. Late stop sign put on by Bursett as Cohn was able to get the relay throw in. Squirted away from Shanuel eventually. Throw home to Neareye, able to get it down to Shanuel as Catula dived back to the third base bag. So bases full of aces for J.J. Gonzalez, who is yet to be retired as he comes to the plate for the third time tonight.
This is a big test for Josh Gross here. One swing could tie it.
Number 20,
One swing could make it a closer game. And some concern for Mark Catula on third base, though.
Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit up the. Again, took a big round around third, but Bursitt trying to avoid the same fate that ended Catula's trip around the bases back in the second inning. Put on a very late stop sign halfway down the third base line to the plate. And Catula able to get back with a little bit fresh dirt on the front of his pants. And so Gonzalez with that bare-knuckled stance from the right side stands in. First pitch misses nothing in there for a called strike. Perfectly on the inside third of the plate.
Game of Gross tonight, really just impressive. See if he can get his signature moment here.
Stare down at Catula off third, checks back in, now fires, strike two. Quickly ahead here with 2 strikes on Gonzalez. A chance to finish the inning as he had on Morgan before him. Scotty stands off first now. Marslak off second, drew the 4-pitch walk earlier. Gross looking to strand them all. Hands at the belt. He kicks, he fires, 0-2, in there! Called strike 3 looking. Josh Gross rings up 9 through 6. Strands 3 more aces on the base paths and hangs a 6th 0 on the scoreboard. Aces leave him loaded, and the big train takes a 4-0 lead. Top of the 7th, coming up next on Big Train TV. Burkhalter gets a swing and a miss from Keith Torres to start us off here in the 7th. Game moving right along. Not even 2 hours deep into this one as we enter the 7th inning of play. A 4-0 Big Train lead. Burkhalter back to the stretch, drops one in there a little tight on the inside to Torres for ball 1. Keith 1 for 2 on the evening. Sharp line out to the pitcher, singled in the 4th. Looking for hit number 2 of the day, number 6 of these playoffs, 3 of those doubles. 2-1 here as he takes that one again for a ball from Burkhalter, the Auburn Tiger. Misses with the off speed. Oh, that one in there for a strike, 2-2.
3-1, yeah.
3-1, yeah, okay.
Wrong call on the scoreboard. Trust your gut.
I mean, because Porto kind of went to make the move, but we've heard his strike call plenty. This one, a breaking ball, and the slider misses away from Torres. It's a 5-pitch walk for Keith. I have to wonder what Burkhalter's got left in the tank. The best arm out of the pen for Chris Burset, but he's into his 4th inning of work here.
And he's kept this game close.
He has kept this game close. Big Train were on the verge of breaking this thing even farther open after hanging that 3 spot in the 3rd. But Burkhalter has held them to just 4 with a couple consecutive scoreless innings. Torres leads off first here on base for the 2nd time tonight. Neareye shows bunt, can't put it in the field of play. Foul ball there, strike 1.
And just a team-on-the-back effort tonight for Josh Gross. 6 innings, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts. Really impressive stuff.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Tyler. Certainly got to be impressed with what he's put out there tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
On his way to being a starting pitcher, as Neareye is able to get this one down, but foul up the 3rd base line, just trickling there about 50-60% of the way towards the 3rd base bag.
If this score
Foster
holds,
on deck.
if this score holds, potentially some hardware for Josh Gross tonight. Really
0-2 on Neareye for the 3rd time tonight.
thoroughly blanked the Aces tonight. He was the ace against the Aces.
Absolutely.
He was that guy, pal.
Here's the 0-2 to Neareye. Burkhalter looking to answer. Pumps it a little too tight on the left-handed hitting catcher.
Crack
for
of the
ball 1.
glove. Some zip on that one.
Burkhalter with a look back to Torres off of first. Torres back safely. Rising sophomore, or rising junior. Sophomore last season. High as Neareye cracks this one sharply to the 2nd baseman Gonzalez. Over to Farquhar in time for 1. Relay throw to Catula. Gets them both. 4-6-3 the double play. And the leadoff runner aboard is erased. 2 gone here for Foster.
And I'll tell you what, Ben, for a catcher, Danny Neareye can certainly move it down the line. That was a close play at first base, but fortunately a pair of outs in this situation as the lineup turns over for Darius Foster.
Number 8, Darius Foster.
We were saying about Burkhalter before Neareye put that ball in play. 21 innings pitched last season at Auburn. Twice went 2 1/3, once went 2 innings. But nothing more than that in his sophomore season for the Tigers, but gets a swing and a miss there. Looking nowhere close to empty on the meter. Just 4.1 innings pitched his freshman year for Auburn. And quickly ahead here on Foster, 0-2. 2 gone, top of the 7th. Big Train have been quiet since putting 3 home in the 3rd. Foster set at the plate for the 0-2, fouls it off sharply to the left, out of play. Burkhalter's longest appearance in the CRCBL this year was 5 2/3 versus Gaithersburg on June the 16th. He registered the win there as that one pumps inside on Foster, 1-2. Also had 4 1/3 versus the Giants again. A couple 3-inning appearances, 1 versus the T-Bolts and 1 versus the Big Train. Actually, no, that's all wrong. Ignore me there. Outside, 2-2. The wrong page pulled up. 2-2 to Foster at the plate. Burkhalter fires and gets him to go around. Stone collects it, flips it back to the mound. Foster set down. Quietly go the big train again in the 7th. That's 4 consecutive shutout innings put up by Blake Burkhalter as the big train maintain a 4-0 lead. Time to stretch here in Alexandria. A double switch coming for the big train defense when we come back on Big Train TV. So after 6 stellar innings to start things off for the big train tonight, Josh Gross's night is complete. Just 5 hits allowed, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He'll hand the ball over to Ryan Doherty out of St. Mary's College of California. Lefty starts things off with a pitch a little too low there for ball 1. This one tipped back into the screen. 1-1 now on Matt Stone, the catcher. Maybe a pinch hitter due up on deck. This one skips away inside on Stone. He'll wear that off the front and head down with a hit by pitch. And the first runner on board here against Doherty.
See how Doherty piggybacks Josh Gross in this start? I mean, Gross, we already said it so much how great he was tonight. We'll see what the effort is.
We will indeed have a pinch hitter here for Tyler Helgeson, the right fielder. It's Adam Schwartz coming in off the bench to hit here. 6', 205", rising junior at UMBC, Akron, Pennsylvania native.
There's an Akron, Pennsylvania.
Coming in to hit
Helgeson was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Number 16, Adam Schwartz.
So up to the big train bullpen here. Very effective through the first 3 games of these playoffs. And a chance to close things out. Doherty misses high for ball 1. Doherty, one of a couple lefties available. Matt Howitt pitched just 1 inning last night. Could see him again as Doherty gets a swing and a miss on a hard pitch there. 1-1 counts both batters he's faced so far.
Do you see Kyle Robinson up and throwing in the bullpen?
Long righty, looking towards the 8th perhaps. Bottom of the 7th here. This one misses high. 2-1.
Be interesting if Ryan Doherty's entrance song was Daughtry. Good play on words there.
Swung on and missed by Schwartz there. Not happy with himself. Little exclamation. Kind of hit himself in the face with the bat too. Trying to walk back into the box. Count even on him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doherty from the stretch with Stone off first. Look in. Swing and a miss. He got him. 10th strikeout for the Aces offense tonight. The first on the ledger of Ryan Doherty as Schwartz goes down, and the 3rd in that hole as Schwartz picks up right where Helgeson left off. Bringing up the top of the order here with 1 out and 1 on for Garrett Farquhar.
Impressive way to get out of that AB. After hitting the first batter, Doherty responds with a big strikeout.
Doherty has been very impressive mentally as this one hit way high in the air. Slight left center field cone racing in. And 2 gone here for Doherty as he looks to strand that leadoff runner. Farquhar flies out on the first pitch he sees. To shallow center field.
Number 1, Anthony Migliaccio.
Migliaccio, left fielder. 3 hits, 1 run scored this postseason. 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Takes that one outside for ball 1. Wearing number 1. Slight dirty blonde hair coming out the back of his navy blue helmet. As Doherty sets and fires in there on the inside 3rd. 1-1. Migliaccio taking that like it was way inside, but clearly enough over the plate for Paul Porto, enough over the plate for us. 1-1. Doherty from the stretch working quickly and misses inside. 2-1. Two strikeouts swinging. A ground out to first from Migliaccio. Swings and misses at the 2-1. Count even with 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 7th. And Doherty a chance to strand a runner. Stone, slight lead off first. Maybe 4 steps. Here's the 2-2 from Doherty. Tipped back into the mid of near eye. Back-to-back strikeouts. Doherty with a stare down of the Aces dugout as he stalks off the mound through 7 clean. Are the Big Train with a 4-run lead. And up to bat again in the top of the 8th.
7 complete innings. The score is Big Train 4,
New pitcher, another Auburn Tiger out of the pen for Chris Bursett. It's number 27, John Armstrong, as we have a little bit of a late ceremonial flyover here. Coming across your screen maybe in just a moment. Maybe. 0-1 to Cone.
There it is.
There it is. Not as low as it felt. A little police helicopter in the area, doing a little circly circle. Quickly 0-2 here for the side armor, Armstrong. Some mean action on it.
Used to seeing those in D.C., but we're not too far outside. Drove through downtown, I think it was Arlington on the way here.
Armstrong, the righty. Whips that one in tight on Cone for ball one. Sensational line for Burkhalter in relief tonight, as Armstrong takes a long look in. And Cone able to stay alive, fouls this one off. 4 innings, 3 hits allowed for Burkhalter. No runs, just the 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts and 14 batters faced. Very efficient night for him. Faced just 2 above the minimum. Armstrong will look to pick up where he left off here in the top of the 8th. Cone check swing to stay alive again. Count 1-2. Nobody out here. 2, 3, 4 due up. Tried to read you as Cone breaks his bat into the screen. Fouls this one all the way off to the left. Man, heads up behind the home plate side. Been adventurous
He says,
night.
yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, it's slightly broken. Torres will deliver him a new piece of lumber.
So you can see the bat fly down.
Cone using a slightly smaller bat than the one offered to him from the on-deck circle by Grant Knipp. Fresh pine tar applied to it, as Cone will get the grip right. Settle in here. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. 1 for 2 tonight with a walk, as he takes that one with a stone-cold take on the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Cone takes it straight back up the middle. That's going to get down into the left center gap. Cone rounds first and will hold with a loud leadoff single here to start off the 8th.
Yeah, and the
second base knock of the night.
Third time he's been aboard tonight as well. Really, it's a good game thus far, for Jack Cone as he continues to impress at the plate and on the mound. Some raucous applause for Owen, the bat boy. The big train contingent.
Crowd favorite, Mr. Owen. And now a runner on ahead of Grant Knipp with nobody gone. Here in the 8th, Armstrong to avoid any further damage. Knipp takes that one low for ball 1. Armstrong, 2 appearances this postseason. Sizzles that one in there. Strike 1. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, but no runs. 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Just the 4th hit of this postseason allowed by him. Stands off first base in the form of Jack Cone. Armstrong out of the stretch. Here's the 1-1 outside. Cone running, Stone throwing, not in time. Cone went into scoring position safely with a stolen base.
I'd love some insurance runs here, and Cone trying to bid for that here. Nip up to the plate. He's a guy that if he could drive it, Cone could come in. Cone, sneaky speed on the base pass.
2-1 the count. Nip 1 RBI already tonight. 0 for 2 with that sacrifice fly out in the 3rd. Struck it in the 5th. Takes that one in there on the outside 3rd. Called strike 2.
More fans we've seen at Alexandria than we have all season. Big Train fans travel well.
Plenty of supporters making the short trip down here to Alexandria. 2-2 to Nip at the plate. Armstrong delivers, swung on and missed. Nip down on strikes again, trying to chase that.
Might have been a slider there from Armstrong. That was impressive.
Nice pitch. And that sends the first out of the 8th back to the dugout. Unhappy. And the chomps. There's chum in the water for Kemp Alderman. Rhythmatic clapping coming on as Kemp steps to the box here.
Emphatic bat flip on his home run in the 3rd inning today. That's the last runs that have been scored in this game.
Quiet since that 3rd inning. And he turns on one, hits sharply over the Big Train dugout.
Heads up.
Sam Bender probably the closest to the danger zone there as he picks that thing up on the rebound. Saw a couple Big Train batters last couple trips down here to Alexandria hanging out up on the roof of that dugout, so glad nobody was up there then.
Yeah.
0-1 on Kemp Sharp. Facing off against the side armor Armstrong. Here's the 0-1. Alderman takes. Ball away. Count even.
I'm not going to get Kemp to chase too much. You know, we've seen how good his eye is at the plate. Yeah, he has chased at times this season, but just an impressive eye. A guy that knows what pitch is his and knows when to hit it and knows when he gets all of it.
Certainly got all of that. 2-run shot back in the 3rd. Swings and misses at that one. A little bit off balance there.
Just as
1
I
and
say
2.
That. Maybe just a little late on that one, though.
Armstrong has shown the ability to mix some stuff up here. And that arm slot is never easy for hitters to adjust to. Burkhalter kind of a 3/4 slot delivery, but not nearly to the degree that Armstrong's cooking at. 1 and 2 to Alderman. Cone leads off second. Armstrong comes home and gets another swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Alderman set down on strikes for the 2nd time in a row, and there's 2 gone here for Nolan Shanuel. Back-to-back strikeouts for both Nip and Alderman in back-to-back fashion in the 5th and now the 8th. Shanuel with a chance for his 5th RBI, would be his 5th RBI of the postseason here. Cone in scoring position, was picked off second base last time in the 5th. Shanuel with that easy stance calls time as Armstrong will get a visit here from the Alexandria Aces dugout on how to attack number 23 in black. See what they can draw up here after this mound visit.
Black jerseys across baseball tonight. Mets donning their black jerseys for the first time since 2012.
Very exciting stuff, I'm sure.
I mean, the era of Mets baseball, you know, some of the best teams wore those jerseys, while the 86 team wore the racing stripes. 2000, 1999, and 2006 teams all wore the black jerseys at some point.
Bursitt satisfied at the mound. He'll head back to the dugout. Shanuel with 2 outs. Runner on second. Potential insurance run there with the Big Train leading 4-0 here in the top of the 8th. Looking to close things out in strong fashion. Both cheering sections looking to support their sides as Shanuel takes that one inside. Very tight to the pants for ball 1. Armstrong set out of the stretch. Looks back on Cone off first. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2.
Both bullpens have been stout. I mean, well, only 1 inning pitch from the Big Train bullpen in this game, but you know, a lot of zeros out there on the scoreboard since that 3rd inning.
8 combined to be exact. Armstrong looking to hang number 9 as Shanuel drives this one the other way. Straight over the heads of the Aces bullpen. down the left field line. Strike one, 2-1. This one inside off the front knee of Nolan Shanuel, and 2 aboard here for Rocco Pepe.
Not a guy you want to have up at the plate with a couple runners on. Pepe a chance to do some damage here with 2 outs.
Number 1, Rocco Pepe.
Rocco relatively quiet since the first inning, singled and scored on the error by the catcher Stone. As we said, that one opened up the scoring. And Pepe with a chance to extend the lead for his first RBI of the night. Of course, collected his first of the postseason in loud fashion with that big fly. Runners on first and second here. Armstrong starts him off with ball 1 outside. Righty versus righty. This one high. Ball 2. Armstrong maybe struggling with a little bit of location the last couple batters.
On the ropes a little bit here with a couple of runners on. Trying to keep this game a 4-run lead as it has been since the 3rd inning. And, you know, Alexandria just had no answer for the Big Train pitching tonight.
Both of these teams battling here. First game played down here at Frank Mann Field was kind of similar. A 5-2 eventual victory for Bethesda in dramatic fashion. Strong start from Grayson Hitt, I believe it was. Picked up by Carbajal out of the bullpen as Pepe takes this one outside for ball 3.
Look out. In the twilight zone count here now.
See what the approach is here from Rocco at the plate as Armstrong comes set. 3 balls, no strikes. And that one in there just above the knees. Pepe was ready to remove the shin guard. Big Train dugout not happy with that called strike 1. Paul Porto, the most dangerous game. Can't appease everybody. Pepe will take a second. Get himself back in the mindset, step in, still with a hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike on the right-handed second baseman. Long Beach State dirtbag. Armstrong comes set, hands the belt. He fires from the sidearm. Pepe smokes this one up the right side. The second baseman Gonzalez collects, flips over to Catula, and the side is retired. Big Train put 2 aboard, 1 in scoring position on 1 hit and 1 hit by pitch. They strand both. Still 4-0 Big Train. Bottom of the 8th in just a moment here on Big Train TV. Mark Catula will lead things off here for Alexandria. In the bottom of the 8th, time running out offensively. Down to their final 6 outs. They'll be facing off Doherty for a second consecutive frame. Pitcher out of St. Mary's starts off with the ball just low on the first baseman from Eastern Michigan there. This one sizzles back a little outside again, 2-0. Close pitch there from Doherty. Doherty from the set. Swing and a miss there by Catula for strike 1. Reached on the catcher's obstruction in the 6th. Funky call there. Got all the way to 3rd. Was stranded by Josh Gross. As every Alexandria Aces batter who reached against him were. 3-1 now from Doherty. Nine total runners left on base against Gross. And Catula will look to avoid being number 11 on the game. One stranded last half inning as he reaches base here with a leadoff walk. So second consecutive leadoff hitter aboard against Doherty. A hit by pitch to Stone in the 7th, and now a walk to Catula in the 8th. And Zmarzlak with a runner on, nobody out here. Center fielder steps into the box. Takes that one sizzling in there for strike 1. Zmarzlak 1 for 2 tonight. Reached on a walk, got to second in the 6th. Singled and was stranded there in the 1st. On a strikeout swinging in between. This one hit sharply to second. Pepe to Torres for 1. And to Alderman, not in time to get the speedy Bobby Zmarzlak. Fielder's choice on the 4-6. Zmarzlak reaches safely. Big Train get the lead runner for the first out here in the 8th.
Not hit hard enough to turn 2 in that situation. Nearly did, though. And that just shows a testament to how good Torres is at short, but had to rush the throw a little bit and sacrifice an out in the process.
So 1 on, 1 out for Offshack. Struck out swinging in the 6th. The only time he's been retired. 2 singles before that. Was caught stealing by Danny Neareye back in the 4th on a fantastic laser of a throw by the Notre Dame catcher. Takes a ball here to start. Doherty from the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Tipped foul left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. All-star third baseman Offshack. Out of Elon, Collegeville, PA native. Keystone State guy. Facing the 1-1 from Doherty, the California kid. Low there, ball 2.
Not quite the Karate Kid.
Yeah, certainly looks the part, though, of California boy. Got the long blonde, dirty blonde hair coming out the back of the cap.
Have to ask him if he surfs.
Set here. Tried to go her mustache. Have some comments on that. This one roped to Pepe at second to first in time for the double play. Leadoff runner on board, and it doesn't matter as Doherty strands him there. Pepe with the sharp line out and fires over to Alderman before Zmarzlak gets back. It's a L4-3 double play to end the 8th. Big Train back to the bat looking for some insurance as we head to the 9th here in Game 2 of the CRCBL 2021 League Champion. Trevor Doyle, last licks potentially here for the Big Train. They lead by 4, 1-0 in the series, best of 3. And Doyle swings at the first pitch he sees from strike 1. Fouled back left side, out of play. Doyle tonight, pretty strong outing. 2 base hits, including a double. Strikeout swinging against Burkhalter in the 6th. Stranded on base both times. Going to come all the way across here, potentially as an insurance run as he fouls this one off again.
And we'll see who
0-2.
gets the potential clinching out in this game. Bring things down. You got to think maybe Ryan Metz in this situation.
In the 3rd consecutive game, maybe not, as this one works inside on Doyle.
Quick
Ball
pitch.
1.
Quick pitch from Burkhalter, or not Burkhalter. excuse me.
Armstrong.
Armstrong. There we go.
Matt Howitt potentially available. Kyle Robinson maybe. We'll have to see. Somebody's up and getting loose down there. 1-2 to Doyle at the plate. Swings and misses again. Set down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. And Armstrong has him out number 1 here in the top of the 9th.
Tough AB there for Doyle. Fouled it off a couple and then just came up empty on a swing and a miss.
Number 9, Keith Torres.
Torres still 1 for 2 tonight, on base twice with a single and a walk in the 7th. Was caught up in a double play before he could get any further. Guy's been hitting the ball very well. Had one of his hardest hit balls of the season here in Alexandria. He's had a couple of those this year, just scorched one into the gap. Had a loud double in the All-Star game. There's a starting shortstop there. Won the other night against DC. Here's the 0-1. This one hit hard up the middle. That's a chopper that's going to get through. Torres will round first and hold. And there's a 1-out runner on here for Danny Neary. His 2nd single of the night for Torres.
Good spot for it, too. Gets a runner aboard and potentially it's for Big Train to tack on some more as Danny Neary's up to the plate.
Owen still getting some fan love there as he works that piece of lumber back to the dugout. Neary will step in, facing Armstrong for the first time. Grounded into the aforementioned double play, 4-6-3 in the 7th. This one hit sharply up the middle, off the glove of Farquhar, the 2nd baseman. Torres safely to 2nd. Long round, but trots back. Big Train avoid the double play. It's the 4th error of the night for the Alexandria defense. And 2 on board safely here for Darius Foster.
2nd error tonight for the shortstop Farquhar. Been a rough night in the field for him.
Not exactly smooth at the plate either for Farquhar as he's 0 for 4 there.
Yeah, it's been.
Not to
Number 8,
pile
Darius
on, but
Foster.
facts are facts.
That is true, but Foster trying to break his duck here tonight. See what he can do.
Foster reached on an error, scored in the 3rd. Pumps fake at that one. 1 out.
Love some insurance here,
Runners
man.
on 1st and 2nd. Foster choked up slightly more on that bat than we've seen normally with the black batting gloves. Swings at this one, taps it back into the backstop. And quickly 0-2 here. Twice a strikeout victim in the 4th and the 7th. Popped up to Farquhar, the shortstop, in the 1st. Close game here as we pass into the 9 o'clock hour. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo with you down the stretch here for Big Train TV.
What could be one final time.
Foster, bat resting on his back shoulder. Slightly cocked. Here's the 0-2 swing and a miss. Down on strikes. 3rd consecutive time. 2 outs now for Jack Cohn.
See what Cohn can do here. Reached a couple times. In fact, 3 times in a row after popping up to short his first time up. You know, behoove the Big Train here to maybe add 1 or 2 more to give them a cushion.
Certainly wouldn't say no to a couple more runs. Torres off second, Neareye off first. Good speed on the base paths for the lefty, Jack Cohn. He hits one to right field. That's going to be short. Going out is Gonzalez, tripping as he falls back, but makes the grab. Can of corn there for Jack Cohn. It's out number 3. The Big Train down quiet in 6 consecutive innings after a 3-spot in the third. But they hold a 4-0 lead as they look for 3 more outs for Ryan Doherty to close out the 2021 CRCBL Championship. Bottom of the 9th, coming up next on Big Train TV. Scotty Morgan will lead things off here in the bottom of the 9th. Down to the final 3 outs are Alexandria, as Morgan takes that one in there for called strike 1.
In line for the save here if you could finish this off.
Doherty in his 3rd inning of work through 2 clean. Allowed just 2 base runners. No hits yet for Doherty as that one misses outside 1-1. Doherty, the lefty, working only out of the stretch. He kicks and fires in there with the off speed. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Morgan. Singled back in the 6th, pardon. 1 strikeout and a loud fly out to right. 1-2 here. Doherty delivers, fouled off, out of play up in the top of the backstop to the left. Count stays, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Scotty Morgan. A George Mason, slightly open stance, hits this one high and foul to the left. Dugout's still chirping here late in this one. Doherty set again for the 1-2 pitch. Neareye setting up outside. Here it comes, and just misses low. Good looking pitch there from Ryan Doherty, but it's ball 2.
Fans not enjoying that, of course, but still 2-2 here on the count. See how he sets down Scotty Morgan, who has struck out once tonight.
Bleacher full of umpires had a differing opinion there. Setting up outside again is Neareye. 2-2. Broken bat, chopper up the right side. Pepe scoops, fires over in time. It's Sean Uell on the shift instead. 1 gone here in the 9th.
So that is, yes, a 5-3 put out for Shanuel, and even though he was on the right side of the infield, that's how the shift works.
Three-man shift that we described before with Shanuel just to the right of the second base bag, able to race over at the best angle on that soft ground ball to the second base hole. Little jump throw from Nolan. Back to the straight up infield alignment here. Torres and Pepe a step off the outfield grass at short and second respectively. First pitch to Gonzalez, who struck out looking against Doherty. His last trip to the plate is back in there for called strike one.
Perhaps, 50 years ago, yeah, that's a base hit, but now that's how the times have changed.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2 on a good heater outside from Doherty. CRCBL veteran, returning big train player, looking to make his mark on this 2021 championship series. 0-2 to Gonzalez, bare-knuckled at the plate. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Fouled that back, and we'll do it again at 0-2.
Gonzalez assuring the home plate umpire that he didn't miss that.
Here I couldn't quite put the squeeze on, so we'll do the 0-2 again. Setting up slightly outside. Here it comes, and missing back inside. Tight on Gonzalez for ball one. Doherty likes the sign from near eye. Comes set, hands at the belt. Kicks, here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. All in a twist is J.J. Gonzalez down to his knees in the dirt. And the Aces are down to the final out of the 2021 season.
What a cold-blooded pitch from Ryan Doherty. A hellacious breaking ball inside that Gonzalez got corkscrewed into the ground there, and 1 out away from champions again.
Number 7, Matt Stone.
Stone represents the final hope of the Alexandria Aces at the plate. That one low for ball one. Stone 0 for 2 tonight, reached on a hit by pitch in the 7th, as that one a called strike from Paul Porto.
Porto's called a very good game behind home plate tonight. See what happens here in these final two.
Complaints about a couple close calls either way, but
you're going to have those.
Both teams complaining means something's going right. Here's the 1-1 from Doherty. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Down to their final strike here of what could be the last pitch of the season. Doherty hoping to bring it home in his second year as a member of the Big Train.
Time called behind the plate, and we'll have to wait just a little bit more. 730 days since the last CRCBL championship was in the books. Here's the 1-2 below the knees. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stone tonight, a couple of sacrifice groundouts and hit by pitch, has reached base once, but would love to continue this game here with 1 swing.
Doherty set, 2-2. Swing and a miss! He struck him out, and the Big Train go back-to-back with a long wait in between, but they finish it and claim their 10th title with an emphatic 4-0 shutout win of the Alexandria Aces. They finish it in 2, going undefeated in the playoffs and claim the 2021 crown.
There's some celebrating here, ladies and gentlemen, down in Alexandria. It took almost 2 years and some change for them to do this, but the Big Train have repeated one more time, and what a game it was. What a pitching effort it was from both Josh Gross and Ryan Doherty, who combined for 9 shutout innings tonight, and you could not have asked for more from the Big Train pitching and offenses. The 4 runs was all they needed.
Josh Gross and Ryan Doherty with 2 masterclass pitching efforts. Doherty with 3, Gross with 6 to start, and an unbelievable shutout combined for the Big Train pitching staff. There's trophies on the field as the Big Train earn themselves another championship. So much adversity between their last victory and this one. A long layoff in 2020, and they pick up right where they left off in 2021. 27-7 in the regular season to earn the top seed in the playoffs, and 4-0 in the playoffs, 2 straight series sweeps. 14-2 over DC, 14-4 to clinch the semifinals, and 7-2 last night at Povich Field, 4-0 tonight. As we hand it over to Jason Woodward for the presentation of the championship trophy.
This year's most outstanding player for the LCS is Kip Alderman for the Bethesda Big Trade. Alderman had a .375 batting average with 1 home run and 3 RBIs in the 2 games played. Now accepting the 2021 League Championship Trophy from the Bethesda Big Trade, manager Sal Colangelo.
So for final time, here from Frank Mann Field, Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo for Big Train postgame, as the CRCBL chip is claimed by the Big Train in a dramatic 4-0 shutout victory in Game 2 here. Straight games for the Big Train. Tyler, your initial reaction. In case you didn't hear, Kemp Alderman named most outstanding player for this series.
Well, Ben, one thing we've been saying all season long, all leading up to this point, is that the pitching can back up the offense when need be, and it was rock solid all season. And tonight, all culminating in one outstanding effort from two pitchers. 6 innings, longest outing for any starting pitcher this year for Josh Gross, shutout, and then finishing it off with a beautiful save and a beautiful flourish with a strikeout to end things off is Ryan Doherty.
Absolutely. No better fitting end to this season for the Big Train than a dominant performance from their pitching staff. Kemp Alderman, again, the most outstanding performer of this championship series as the Big Train claim it 4-0. The final line score presented by Bethesda Magazine. The Big Train, 4 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, 7 runners left on base for Alexandria. No runs on 5 hits, 4 errors. They strand 10. Josh Gross, of course, picks up the win. Derek Civic, the loser, and Ryan Doherty earns the save with 3 scoreless innings down the stretch. And for Tyler Gallo, I've been Ben Bobek. That will just about wrap things up. But first, an incredible thank you to you, the viewer, the family, the audience that we do this for. We could not do it without you. This channel started off at the beginning of the season with just under 50 subscribers. We're over 265 now. We had a couple thousand game views. It has just been so incredible to hear the feedback and the support from you at games and on our social feeds. And it has been so special for us to be able to bring this special, special season to you. So thank you for your support of us, of Big Train TV, of Big Train Baseball. That will do it for us, signing off one final time for Frank Mann Field and for the 2021 CRCBL champions. He's Tyler Gallo. I've been Ben Bobek. We have been Big Train TV. We'll see you next season, wherever that may be. Enjoy the rest of your night, and